Hey, Ryan Michael Galloway, we don't need no stinking record company.com. And I was telling you about my challenging week and the fact that I don't have too much of a voice right now. But I did want to talk and get some posts out there about a couple of things. And one of them was voice, was your voice. For those of you that are singing and getting started. So I did something a little novel. Many years ago when I had a 5-piece vocal band. The band was called Prima Donna, and the idea was each one of us was a main character. We had somebody that was kind of like Alex in A Clockwork Orange, and I was the swashbuckler, and we had our teen idol, and we had our rock star kind of Robert Plant kind of character, and our preppy guy, and all kinds of different things. But the objective was for us all to sing lead, and for us to then be able to also sing harmony, back up the others in the rest of the band. And there were 5 of us, and it was a big sound, very impressive. The group, I think, did I mention it was Prima Donna? So Prima Donna was a band on the East Coast. We went up and down the East Coast quite a bit, and we had a record deal for a very short time, never got anything released. And in fact, TK Records was our label, Casey and the Sunshine Band, and right after we signed with them, they went bankrupt, and we were stuck for 2 years in this contract we couldn't get out of. But we did some really cool things in this band. One of the things that we did was we hired a guy by the name of Michael Sparacino, who in Washington, D.C. was an opera singer. And we came to Michael and we said, would you teach us, first of all, how to keep from losing our voices? And because we were over singing, we were just blowing our vocal cords out left and right, and we were doing a lot of gigs where we had to play 5, 6, 7 nights a week, sometimes 5 sets. Stories I could tell, and generally somebody in the band would always have, or at least 2 of us would have problems. The air would change, forced air heat, and all these different things that would be working against us. So I'm not an expert in this. I'm just kind of trying to apprise you of some of the things you might be able to do. And most of these things came out of what Michael Sparacino taught us. He did a lot about teaching us not only how to use our own voices, but how to warm up, and then how to warm up together. And boy, I tell you, warming 5 singers up together, kind of like when you hear a high school band warm up all their instruments together. They do specific notes, and then they do a little bit of work where they're doing half-step jumps and maybe whole step jumps, and then maybe a scale or 2. You do that with your band, and I'm telling you, your blend will just go do some amazing stuff. And it's kind of the same effect, I guess, maybe you get when you see some of those videos of the Eagles before they go on stage for the night, standing around for a minute and maybe singing Seven Bridges Road for a second off mic, behind stage to get themselves tuned up. I understand Neil Young does the warm-ups together with his band. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard, and from an interview with Robert Plant, not one that I did, but one that I heard. And so anyway, paying attention to your voice, even when you're a rock and roll singer, is a pretty important thing. I got some things to say about it. I hope you'll come back. I'm Ryan Michael Galloway, and we don't need no stinking record company.com.